Virgo, how are y'all doing, man? Guess what time it is? It's time for your extended reading. So basically, this is just one last swoop across the table to make 100% sure we've gotten all of the information and advice out of February that we possibly can. Because next up is going to be the mid-month messages, and that's where we check to see if timelines changed. But we can't do that until every crumb of information and advice is swiped out of February. So for those of you in need of a personal reading, the information is in the description. And for those of you who missed the memo, 2 days from now, February 6th, we are doing another round of the 2222 live mini reading. So if you're unfamiliar with that and you're wondering what it's about and how to participate, you can read up about that on my website where the rest of my personal readings are, and that's tarotwithrich.com. The link is in the description. All right? All right, let's jump on into this. I'm starting these off with general messages. Career, finance, friends, family, anything but romance. What general messages do we have for Virgo universe? What do we got? Uh-oh, 3 of Cups reversed. All right, let's see here. Death reversed. 6 of Swords reversed. Okay, so this is definitely somebody from your past. I think you're going to be getting closure from somebody. Well, I think there's somebody that wants closure. Now, remember, this is general. This is not romance. Okay, so typically the first thing that I like to look at in a general reading, if it involves a person, is what kind of connection is this? Friends or family? I don't really have a lot of family energy here. Not a whole lot. King of Swords could be like maybe a distant family member, you know, like a uncle or a cousin or something. But I don't have a lot of family energy in here. But again, it's whoever the first person is that comes to your mind when I say this. I'm thinking that whoever you fell out with in the past, this person's wanting closure. They want closure, but they're a little bit nervous. They're like, whatever it was that happened between the two of you is still weighing on them very heavily. Very heavily. They think about you all the time. I even think they kind of miss you a little bit too, for real, for real. And they want closure. They at least want to clear the air with you. But I think they're kind of holding back. Maybe they're just not 100% sure where you stand. They're not sure if you're still mad at them. I think they're waiting on an opportunity to see if closure can ever happen. I don't know if they're actually trying to make their way back into your life. I'm not seeing like the desire to reconcile. But with the World card in the heart of the spread here, that feels like closure. Feels like closure. Only with the Strength card and the Hangman, I don't know if they're actually taking action towards you. Because those are both very heavy energies of holding back, you know, hanging back, waiting, not taking action. All right, okay. Well, that's all I can say about that right there. Let's get some general advice for Virgo. General advice. What's the general advice for Virgo for February? Page of Pentacles. Okay, so this is going to be relating to this situation. Okay. All right. Well, hang on. Okay. Where do I start with this? Okay, well, hang on. Okay, first of all, you know that you can forgive someone without allowing them back into your life and love them from a distance, right? You know that, right? You know that, right? When it all comes down to it, closure is something that you have to give yourself when it all comes down to it. So I have an idea that this is probably a person you know would not be a good idea for you to allow back into your life. You know this, especially if it's that fucking toxic family member, you know. I think most of us have had that one toxic family member that you've just gone around and around in circles with, and it's just the same fucking thing every single time, and you're just done with it. Just done with it, you know? You can forgive somebody and love them from a distance. Okay, forgiveness doesn't mean that what you did was okay. Just because I forgive you. Just because I forgive you, that does not mean that you're welcome back into my life. At the end of the day, me forgiving you means I am no longer going to torture and poison myself because you're a dumbass. That's what forgiveness means. And again, at the end of the day, closure happens in here. When it all comes down to it, you can't give somebody closure. Let's say me and you was close and then we fell out. Okay, let's just say that. And you want closure. So you come give me closure. But I refuse to accept it. Then what? You can't give me closure. But if I choose to accept it, at the end of the day, I'm still the one that gave myself the closure, not you. So just take that into consideration. If you do choose to communicate with this person, keep them at a healthy arm's distance. And yeah, you probably, especially if it was somebody that had addiction problems or something like that, you can forgive somebody without letting them come back into your life. And, you know, as long as you know in your heart that you've forgiven them and let it go, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. It don't matter what they think. It don't matter what they say. It don't matter what they go tell everybody. That don't mean nothing. All it matters is that you know what's going on in here. That's all that fucking matters. Okay? All right, let's move on to the love portion. And we're going to start the love portion off with the current long-term relationship. If you're not in a long-term relationship, this is not for you. If you are in a long-term relationship, but the two of you are not experiencing problems, this is not for you. Any other crumbs of information that Virgo needs to hear about the current long-term relationship? Two of Swords reversed. Wait a minute. It feels like one of these doesn't belong. I'm going to put them back. Got Two of Swords, Five of Swords, both reversed. I can't tell which one, but it feels like one of them doesn't belong. So I'm going to put them back and see if either of them comes back out. All right. Any other crumbs of information we can tell Virgo? All right. King of Pentacles. Man, we already talked about this, didn't we? Page of Wands. I think we already talked about this. Okay. Well, it just kind of feels to me like, now, I'm not saying that there are no problems. I'm not saying that there are no issues. But when it all comes down to it, 90% of the problems and the issues stem from you dealing with somebody that's just too fucking immature for you. And if this is a long-term partner, I think some of you have really, really held on for a long time because you know that they're immature And you're hoping that they'll just grow out of it one day. You know, like maybe they're an immature communicator. Maybe they're extremely emotionally immature. Just generally immature, you know. Immaturity, that leaves room for growth, you know. Ignorance and immaturity can be fixed. We can fix that, you know. Ignorance, okay, that can be fixed by learning new information. Immaturity, that can be fixed by just fucking growing the fuck up, right? And it ain't been happening, has it? It ain't been happening. Y'all are repeating a karmic cycle. I am thinking y'all are working through this, though. When it all comes down to it, Ace of Cups, Five of Pentacles reversed, you all are making the decision to work through this shit. You are. Okay, that's about all I can say about this right here. Y'all are working through this. You're keeping it going. There it is. I knew it was one of them. I knew it was one of them. Okay. So yeah, a solid decision is being made to work through this. I don't want to speak too much on this person's intentions right now, but so far it does look like they do love you. That's what it looks like to me. It's what it looks like to me. Maybe they just don't really know how to show it or express it or manage their emotions. I don't know. Let's take a deeper dig at their energy. Some of you dealing with a Leo, also have Cancer here. Let's see their truest, deepest feelings and intentions. The current long-term partner that Virgo is dealing with. Okay, Ace of Swords. Tower reverse. They definitely don't want this coming to an end. I think they definitely want to work on this. They absolutely want to work on this. It's looking to me like they're acknowledging their fault in things. They want to work on this. I'm just not 100% convinced that they know how. That's the thing. I'm not convinced that they know how to work on this. Because when it all comes down to it, in order to work on a relationship, you work on yourself. That's how you work on a relationship. You work on yourself. And working on yourself sucks, man. It sucks. It's extremely uncomfortable. It's not fun at all. Ever. Working on yourself is never fun. And honestly, working on yourself is something that most people don't know how to do because, let's face it, if we knew how to work on ourselves, a lot of our problems with humanity would crumble and the game would start to fall apart if everybody knew how to work on themselves, you know? Don't get me going too deep down this rabbit hole, but man, a lot of medical issues, psychological issues, addiction issues would start to disappear and go away if everybody knew how to work on themselves, you know? Anyway, though, I'm not here to unpack all that, but I think they do, man. I really think they do want to work through this. They do want to work through this. Looks pretty solid to me, dude. Does look pretty solid to me. Okay. Some of you dealing with an Aquarius also have Pisces, Taurus, and Scorpio. All right. Well, let's get the advice. Let's get the advice. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, well, all right. Ooh, you know what? Okay. Okay, so you know how I said when it all comes down to it, you got to work on yourself. So when it all comes down to it, really the only person you can work on is you. But, I think if you could help this person understand how to work on themselves, and not just work on themselves, but consistently work on themselves to the point where they start seeing actual results, and they could understand how it works, you would probably see a lot more progress a lot quicker. A whole lot more. A whole lot more. See, working on yourself is no different than forming or breaking any habit. Period. You know that your thought patterns and your emotional triggers run on the same neurological operating system as any other habit. Did you know that? Did you know that? The way you emotionally react to things, same neurological operating system that governs any habit that you have. So it's as simple as forming or breaking any habit, which sucks. That's an extremely uncomfortable thing to do. Like your diet, for example. God damn it, that one's uncomfortable, isn't it? Forcing yourself to eat different every fucking day for days and days and weeks and months until it becomes a habit. That sucks, dude. Or going to the gym. Damn it, that one sucks. But after a while, it writes itself into your neural circuitry and it becomes a habit. So I think maybe if this person understood a little bit more about how working on yourself actually works, it's no different than changing your eating habits, right? But it's all in here. Working on yourself is just like going to the psychological gym, is all it is. Forcing new thoughts. When you're triggered emotionally, you catch yourself in the middle of it. It's uncomfortable, dude. Every single time. It's hard. It sounds easy to talk about. Try it. Think of that one emotional. I know you got one. Don't fucking lie. You have an emotional trigger that you know you probably shouldn't have. In the back of your mind, you know it's a problem and you probably shouldn't be triggered. And it's something stupid, right? We all do. I do too. We all do, okay? Next time that is triggered, catch yourself in the middle of it and force a new thought. That's uncomfortable as fuck. But if you dedicate yourself to it, just like you dedicate going to the gym, as much as that sucks and as uncomfortable as that is, eventually that emotional trigger will start to unwire itself. Eventually. It could take a while sometimes, especially depending on how long it's been wired in there. But doing little things like that, even if it doesn't have anything to do with your relationship, that will extend out and start to impact every other area of your life. Your personal relationships, your romantic relationships, your job, like everything, dude. So hopefully maybe you can take that information and integrate it into your situation somehow so that both of you can benefit from that. That's how it works. All right. Now we're going to take a look and see what's going on between you and your love interest. Single Virgos and the person that they're interested in. Any other crumbs of information that got left out? Anything else Virgo needs to hear? Woo-hoo! Look at that 10 of Pentacles, though. All right. It's kind of feeling to me like a relationship is going to be attempted here. Boom, 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 boom. Ace of Cups. Looking like a love offer to me. Okay. Ace of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling like a relationship is going to be attempted here. I think so. But you all aren't connecting at the deepest level right away. Not right away. You're still doing the best you can to keep your head above water so you can get some air and think clearly. You don't want to let yourself get blinded by emotion. You're doing the best you can not to let this person pull the wool over your eyes. You're trying, and that's hard too. And in doing that, sometimes, depending, it can be hard to do that and connect with somebody on a deep emotional level at the same time. I'd have to think really hard. I mean, I personally believe it's impossible. I don't think you can. I could be wrong on that, though. I'd have to sit and think about that for a while, but to keep somebody at an emotional distance while you observe them, you know, so that you don't let the emotions pull the wool over your eyes, doing that and connecting with them at the deepest level, I believe those two things are mutually exclusive. I don't think you can do both of them at the same time. So there's a few trust issues in here. Well, I can't tell if it's trust issues or just you being practical. I don't know. I can't tell. Can't tell, man. But anywho, okay. All right. Well, okay. Some of you dealing with a Capricorn. I also got Leo. Could be a fellow Virgo. I also have Cancer and Pisces down here. Let's see their feelings, energies, and intentions towards you. Person Virgo is interested in. What are their feelings, energies, and intentions towards you? They want to take things slow. Chariot reverse. Okay, Knight of Swords. All right, well, okay, so, wow. Well, this person is a little bit of a ticking time bomb, I ain't gonna lie. So they're bottling up a lot of problems. They're carrying lots of burdens that it's not that they don't want you to know about it. I just don't think they know whether or not they can burden you with their problems right off the bat. So again, doing that and connecting at the deepest level are mutually exclusive. You can't do them both at the same time. You cannot. So y'all are kind of mirroring each other in a way. Kind of. You're kind of keeping them at a little bit of an emotional arm's distance while you observe them. They're kind of keeping you out because they have a lot of problems and shit that they're dealing with that they don't know if they can trust you. They don't even know how you would deal if they started burdening you with all the things that they're dealing with. So y'all aren't really connected at the deepest level. But I don't see anything that you need to worry about. Well, the only thing that I would say that you need to worry about is if this energy stays stagnant for too long, then it could become a problem later on down the line. So if you all just keep your guards up and keep each other at an arm's distance, that's cool in the beginning, you know, but it's really easy to just get stuck there. You know, it's kind of like, you know, how when you ask the universe for a sign and the universe gives you a sign and you say, give me a signier sign, universe. You know what I'm saying? So whenever you're watching somebody and observing them and you notice that they appear to be very trustworthy, I don't know, give me a signier sign. You know, it's really easy to get stuck with your guard up. And that's when tension can start to build. And if tension keeps on building and building and building and building and building, eventually it's going to pop. Eventually. Okay, well, looks pretty solid though, intentions-wise. Let's see the advice. Let's get the advice. What's the advice for Virgo? What's the advice? Okay, 7 of Pentacles. Hang on. So your approach is okay. There's nothing wrong with your approach to this. Communication. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with your approach. In the beginning, I gotta be careful how I word this. In the beginning, be sure you don't neglect 2 very specific aspects of the connection. Communication and friendship. We gotta be friends, dude. I will preach that until my face turns blue and the cows come home. You want to build a life partnership? Y'all better be friends. Y'all better be friends. Y'all better be able to be B-fucking-F-Fs if you want to build a solid, unbreakable fucking foundation. If y'all ain't friends, you're building a house of cards, basically. And I mean, is it possible for a house of cards to stay up until death does you part? It's possible, I guess. I mean, hopefully, if you cross your fingers and just pray that the universe never sends a big gust of wind your way, okay, I guess you could sustain that. But it's a house of cards. So focus on, now I'm not saying ignore the emotional aspect, okay, because that's the whole issue that we're centered around here. Okay. In the beginning, it's going to be hard for y'all to connect on a deep emotional level. But as you start to see that this person is solid, start letting your guard down. Start letting that guard down, letting it down, letting it down, letting it down slowly and meticulously. And make sure y'all can be fucking BFFs. Be sure that you can open up and be yourself without being judged by them. Be sure they know that they can open up and be themselves without being judged by you. And just try to focus on those areas in the beginning. And y'all can build something successful. All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my Virgo family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget to check the description of the video if you would like to find out how to schedule a personal reading. And for those of you catching this on time, remember, February 6th, we're doing another round of the 2222 live mini readings. You can read up on what that's all about and how to participate in that on my website, tarotwithrich.com. And the link is in the description of this video. All right? I'm out of here now, y'all. I'll see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity.